What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is a Macro Monday live show coming your way here from the Tim Warren Show. We've got a good amount to discuss here today, a lot of charts to break down, not a whole heck of a lot of news, surprisingly, but there is some stuff coming out. Certain whales are buying. Who are these whales buying? Why are they buying? Does this mean you should start buying as well because the bottom is in, or is this the 247th misdirection we've seen in the last 3 months, right? We're going to cover all of that and a whole lot more in today's show. So if you're ready for it, smash the like right now. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And do me a favor. I put a poll out there. I'm very interested as to why you guys watch the channel. If you're watching this back later because you're not live with us, so glad you're watching the video. Drop a comment down below. The options you're going to vote on right now. Why do you enjoy this channel? Why are you watching this channel? Do you think that I have great analysis? Don't flatter me. Be honest, right? Maybe you don't think I have great analysis. Do you think I have great analysis? Do you like my personality? Am I just very entertaining? Are you simply here to troll me and give me a hard time? Again, you're welcome. I love it. Is it a little bit of all the above, right? Those are your 4 options. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the poll. I know there's a couple select characters out there. When I created this poll, I'm like, I know they're going to select all of the above. Certain ones, even though I know that they like me, they're going to select option 3. They're just here to troll me and give me a hard time. I'm here for it, right? I love having a good time. Keep it respectful, right? You can critique me. You can tell me I'm wrong. You can say that I don't know what I'm talking about. Just keep it respectful. This is a family show. I want children who maybe watch the show with their parents who like to read along because they're learning how to read through school. I don't want to see something in the comments that I'd be ashamed to show my 12-year-old. And I don't have a 12-year-old, but if I had one, keep it clean, keep it honest. There we go. Your analysis sucks, honestly, just being honest. I'm glad you're just being honest, and I'm glad you're here. We can agree to disagree, right? We can agree to disagree. I'm not saying that I suck as an analyst, right? I'm not saying I get everything right, but I don't say I'm saying, but I'm happy if you think that I do suck, but you want to participate and watch the show anyway. Let's talk about it though. Whales are buying, prices are starting to move here. Let's take a look at what's happening. I told you guys last week that more than likely Bitcoin would go into another rebound here. In fact, I actually, gave a video with a price prediction last week where I told you I think we go a lot lower. Go watch that video. I explained why. I talk about a move that I still think that Bitcoin has a chance to drop all the way down to $53,000. Okay. I still think that today. But I told you in that video, do not be surprised if there's a little bit of a rebound to the upside. Okay. And right now we are back above $70,000. And I'll tell you this right now, we're going to see this as we go through the charts. I'm going to look today at Bitcoin. We're going to look at Ethereum. I'm going to look at gold and silver. We're going to look at some metals. And there's a couple stocks I want to kind of revisit as well. We're going to look at Coinbase, Bullish, and CoreWeave. And if I have time at the end and we have some question time, I'll answer some questions, maybe do some charting on some other things that you guys want to talk about. But I can't do 147 charts a day. Can't do it. If you want to hear more charting from me and my other pro traders, you can go join the VIP trading group, of course, where every day we're doing live trading, giving takes on what the markets are doing, key levels of support and resistance to be aware of. But I want to kind of bring to your attention, Bitcoin getting a nice rebound right here. And I'll tell you this right now. I want to show you just on Bitcoin. I'm not going to do this on every single chart out there, but I did want to show you this on Bitcoin. We are actually under another daily buy signal for Bitcoin. Last time we had this was a slight fake out, but I actually am seeing here on the charts, it's not as great of a support level as before. We had a slight daily buy signal way back here after hitting support, where for 3 days we were bullish, but ended up coming to the downside. You'll notice there were no grand reversal indicators on our indicators. One of our Neurowave ones had 2 little dots right there, but for the most part, the real reversals didn't come in until all the way over here as we had fallen below 80K. And then here today, depending on which aggressive indicator you're looking at, we now have all 3 of our indicators saying there's a daily buy signal. My kryptonite 14.3 called this a couple of days ago on Friday. Then 2 days later, this kind of got confirmed on Sunday, got confirmed by my other kryptonite 14.14. And then we actually had a nice confirmation on Saturday from our Neurowave indicator. Really good stuff right there. But this buy signal, very different than the fake out we had back here. This one looks a whole lot more like the reversal pattern we got back here on, what date is this? November 22nd. You guys go back and look at what happened November 22nd. Let's take a look right there. This was after a very, very dramatic pull down for Bitcoin's price action, right? But it was a temporary bottom. This is where we struck 80,000. And then for the next 3 months, we ranged before having another drop to the downside, okay? So what I'm saying right now is I'm not telling you that the chart is telling us the bottom is in. What I'm saying is this bottom right here that we just encountered the other day is not like this one that was a fake out. It's a whole lot more like this one, which ended up being the bottom. Like I said, in November on the 21st, we bottomed out. We wouldn't drop back down below that price action until Saturday, January 31st. So some of November, I guess it's more like 2.5 months, all of December and all of January, and just under half of November, 2.5 months of bullishness, higher highs and higher lows, which caused me to tell you guys, if I still believe that there's a chance 53,000 is hit. And again, I'm not going to tell you in today's live show why that is. You can do one of two things. Number one, you can come join my VIP trading group and ask me why. Or number two, here's a free version. Go watch my video on YouTube. I just posted it. You're going to see it. It's going to say Bitcoin price prediction on it. So it makes it really simple and easy to find. Go watch it. I lay out my reasons. There's actually 3 strong reasons and a 4th bonus reason that I believe that Bitcoin can still hit there. What I said, though, is do not be surprised if we actually see another range, right? If we see another boring sideways range. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know if I was clear on this in the video or not. So I want to specify this. Bitcoin's price could get all the way up to this level and still be bearish. If it gets above this level, I start to question myself if the long-term bottom is in. That level, everybody, is going to be right here. We're going to go back to that same wick we had on November 21st, 80,500. 80,500 is the reason, the resistance level to keep an eye on to decide, will we stay in a bearish trend for Bitcoin, or will we make a larger move to the downside? Every move below this level, whether we bottom or we top out right here, whether we go a little bit higher up to 77, we could get all the way up above $80,000, barely above $80,000, and still be in a position to make a move down here to 53,000. The minute, though, we make a break above this level, all of a sudden, the trend has changed. There's a little thing in technical analysis called Elliott wave theory. Now, I'm not the Elliott wave theory expert, even in our community. I want to start off by saying that. One of our pro traders is, though. His name is Rufio. He is a killer with Elliott wave trading. What I want to kind of lay out for you is the possibility that we are finishing up a Elliott wave bearish indicating move. That means we need one more wave to the downside, and then that will be all. We obviously had a top out back here in October of 25. This would be called wave 1, big wave up, a relief bounce with a lower high, wave 2. We just would have finished wave 3. Now we're making a wave 4, which again, in the world of Elliott wave, you cannot get above the bottom of wave 1. So you can get up to it, you can start below it, but the minute we cross this line, all of a sudden we've invalidated a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement, right? Can't get above that level. We've all of a sudden have a probability of saying, well, maybe that was only an ABC correction, meaning A, B, C, and all of a sudden we're ready to go to the upside. If we make a move above 80,000, that would break this into an ABC correction. That's actually a pretty good thing that could happen. So that's why 80,000 is our line in the sand to keep an eye on. But I'm telling you right now, there are some metrics out there. There's some timeline stuff out there that makes me wonder if this is truly the bottom, which keeps me in a spot where saying, hey, it very easily could look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave here. We get all the way back up to 80,000 and still make that 5th wave down and hit the 53,000 bear market bottom. And then the bull market could start. Right. And to be fair, we're going to talk about this a little bit in today's show. We still have a lot of time. I've told you guys my personal opinion. Tim Warren's personal opinion is that Bitcoin and crypto has a very bright future. But Bitcoin and cryptocurrency cannot resume to the upside until the Clarity Act passes, because retail right now does not want to touch Bitcoin with a 10-foot pole. Look at the volume. I know, like, if I were to go to the daily chart, right? High volume. I'm going to be like, Tim, look at all that volume coming in on the daily chart. Look at that spike right there. You can't see it very well. Volume all of a sudden shoots up on this bottom position. Volume's higher than it was even back here in November of 25, right? So some volume came in right there. But take a look with me if you don't mind, take a look with me at the volume out on the weekly chart. And while we had a big wick here again, that's the highest wick we've actually had since all the way back here in November of 24. Look at the yellow line of volume and look at bull markets past with me. Volume during bull runs and during bear markets can skyrocket. We haven't had that this whole bull run. We've had little clips, little peaks, but nothing compared. Look how high volume gets during, this is the 2018 rally. This is the 2019 rally. This is the 2021 rally. This is the bear market of 2022. We don't get anywhere close to that. Retail has really not participated in either the buying or the selling aspect too much of this market. We are being driven by institutional adoption, and the institutions are waiting for the rule book to be here. They know retail doesn't want to play. Retail, first of all, believes in the 4-year cycle. Second of all, never really came in to begin with. And second of all, the institutions, as long as they can keep prices cheaper and lower to wait, they're going to do so. So if retail doesn't want to spark and get the boat going, institutions get control the whole thing, and we don't have the Clarity Act passing probably within the next couple of months. I think at this point, April is our earliest standpoint. Everything I'm reading in the news, April would be like the first possibility of getting the Clarity Act bill passed. I think more than likely it's going to take into May. Not that we have to wait until May for it to actually get bullish again, but I do think that until we have certainty, which we definitely do not have right now, the move to the downside is absolutely still on the table. You need to be prepared for it, okay? Now, am I telling you that I've not bought the dip? No, guys, I'm buying dips. Every time we get a dip, because of my high conviction on Bitcoin, I'm buying this. I bought this dip back here. I bought this dip right here. I'll buy 53. If I'm wrong and we go lower than 53, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to sell my whole bag. I'm going to wait for the next support level, probably going to be somewhere down south of 40,000. I'm going to buy that dip as well. Okay? But right now, I just want you mentally prepared. If you're thinking, well, the bottom has to be in or I'm done, don't be done. Like, don't give up just yet. I wouldn't tell you give up just yet, but I'm just wanting you mentally prepare yourself. If you think it can't get worse, it can, right? It absolutely can. And as long as the institutions are manipulators, which they are, and they will be, a lot of things are still possible. So I want you guys prepared for that. But in the short term, if you're a trader with me, again, a lot of reasons for hope. Let me do this with Bitcoin, and I'm not going to do this with every other coin out there and not every stock, but I want to show you just why you should be so bullish. We don't have weekly buy signals yet, right? My aggressive indicator is very close, right? And my kryptonite 14.3 is very close, but it's not there yet. So we don't have that one. We do have daily buy signals now on all three of my oscillators. If you go down to the 12-hour, buy signals. If you go to the 4-hour, buy signals. If you go to the 1 hour, which again, we actually had some trades going in today in the VIP chat, we were able to long this at the right time, make some money. I actually entered 3 different longs today and have made money. We had some flare-ups of buy signals coming in right as we're hitting some major upside support inside of a ascending triangle. We were able to long this and make some money here today. If you want to learn all that, I teach all of it in my VIP trading group. We're making money in both directions. We're shorting when it's time to short. We're longing when it's time to long. Come make money no matter what the markets are looking like, and prepare yourself for when the bottom eventually does come in and we can make some money long term. Let's take a look at what Ethereum is doing. Ethereum is also having itself a nice little swing here to the upside. Not quite like Bitcoin. Bitcoin had more of that flat top. It looks like Ethereum is kind of more giving us an ascending level of resistance along with the support. I'm going to turn that one red for you with some resistance. A little bit of more of a megaphone pattern kind of in the works here for Ethereum. So could be very interesting. This, though, and I gave a price prediction in my VIP trading group last week for Ethereum. I'm not going to release it here, but I'll tell you right now, it does go to the downside. This megaphone pattern, again, could be part of what we're even watching with another move down. While we're short-term bullish and we have buy signals out the wazoo, again, I could show you, but I'm not going to go through every timeline, but a lot of buy signals popping up. Patterns like this oftentimes do end up rejecting and coming back down to the downside. Just how high could Ethereum get and remain kind of in a position where it's like, hey, that's not really necessarily a full-blown bull market? It could get all the way up to 2,600. Right? I don't know if we're going to get all the way to 2,600, but I'm just telling you right now, in the same breath of that Elliott wave theory, as long as we stay below 2,600, there's a chance we're just playing out the bigger waves. We break above it, all of a sudden, things are looking a little bit better for Ethereum. But I'll tell you right now, are you asking me, Tim, should I be more bullish in the short term or bearish in the long term or short term? I'm looking at Ethereum and I'm saying, man, this is bullish. This is short-term bullish. I'm looking for long positions. Why? Because the buy signals are starting to flood in. And again, looking a whole lot more like the buy signals that gave us real juice from back in November, more so than the fake out ones that happened more so in January. So that's where Ethereum's at right now. It did bottom out here at 1751. Could make its way all the way back up to 2,600. I would say a level I would keep an eye on before that, though, will be in this green box. I thought this level would be a little bit more more support when we fell through it. It wasn't. That doesn't change the fact this was a high volume area of trading way back here in May of 25. So this zone here, starting on 2,400 all the way up to 2,600, is going to be a very interesting pocket to watch for potential resistance on Ethereum. If you're going to wonder, like, Tim, how are you planning on trading this? I'm not going to just automatically short when we get up here, right? I'm in long positions. So the minute we get up into these resistance touches, I do plan on taking profits. I would re-enter if we get a move above, right? I would eat my lose. It'd be better if I stayed in, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make my money. I'm going to long it up to here. When I see this, I'm going to take profit. And before I hit the short button, I'm going to go look at my indicators. I'm going to look at what's happening with volume and buying and everything else. And I'm going to say, is this time to short? Or is it time to sit on the sidelines where we decide, was that actually the bottom? That's what I'm going to do. I'm not deciding right now. I don't have a short position open, ready to go at 2,500 or 2,600. I will wait. But I'll tell you right now, if price is in this green box and all of a sudden I start to get some sell signals from my 1 hour and my 4 hour and my daily chart, you better believe me, I'm going to be looking for a short position, and my target will be to the downside, the price prediction I gave our community just the other day. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at here with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I do want to take a look at gold, silver, and a couple of stocks here a little bit later in the video. But if you guys are enjoying this right now, leave me a like, smash the like button right now, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I want to give a quick shout out though to a sponsor that we have. You're going to see them in our banner all the time, right? All the time. But you only can talk about this sponsor from time to time. It's coming up on tax season, everybody. It is February. Tax season will be in April, but you never want to wait until April to actually deal with your taxes. If you're looking for someone to genuinely save you as much money as possible, I encourage you, go check out decrypted.tax. There's a link for him down below. Go check him out right now. Here's a big reason why. You might be saying, because this is the joke here, Tim, I don't have to worry about taxes too much. I'm in nothing but losses from last year. I ain't got no taxes to pay. Here's what I'll tell you right now. Nobody out there understands the world of taxes, and especially crypto taxes, better than decrypted.tax. The stories that I have, not only of my own, like there's been taxes where at times where I thought I was going to owe, I think the last year was like, I thought I was going to owe like $10,000. I think my grand total walking out of it was like maybe $800 or $700, something like that. I had a buddy who thought he owed $30,000. I don't know what kind of magic Ernest and his team was able to do. My friend's estimate was he owed $30,000 in taxes. He somehow got a refund of $3,000. How does that work? I don't know. Ernest and his team understand taxes and crypto better than you could think. You think maybe you'll get back $1,000 for returns. Somehow he'll find you $5,000. I don't know how. I can't promise you that. Don't take that as financial advice. But I can guarantee you this, he will be able to do your taxes better than you can do it yourself or almost any other CPA out there. Go check out Ernest at decrypted.tax today. Let's take a look at some news stories. I told you guys in the title that we have a whale buying. We actually have two whales buying right now. One of them a little more interesting than the other, but I want to break this down for you. And what do we do with this information? At the end of the day, like them or hate them, these two men right here are whales. These two men own more Bitcoin than I will ever think to own in my entire life. And they're both buying. Now, Strategy, of course, run by Michael Saylor, buys all the time. So is that really that big of a news story that Strategy is buying Bitcoin? No, that makes this a normal Monday, right? It seems like he buys all the time. It has zero implication. People love to say whenever Michael Saylor buys with Strategy that that's an automatic top. No, sometimes it's a bottom because the dude just buys all the time. The more interesting one, and I put this out, we really shouldn't have CZ's face on here. He's no longer working with Binance until some things change. But Binance made a huge announcement here a couple of weeks ago that they purchased, that they were going to purchase over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin for their Seifu fund. They're doing this in increments. They didn't do it all at once. They just purchased and released that they purchased $299.6 million worth of Bitcoin. A lot of people are really bullish on this. Again, at the moment, as you look at the charts, it's a short-term bullish move. I told people when the announcement was made from Binance. They were going to make this billion-dollar purchase. I said, don't be so fast to jump bullish on this type of news. Okay. Michael Saylor news, who cares? I genuinely don't care what Michael Saylor is doing because it has no implications on the markets whatsoever. I love when people buy Bitcoin. Right? I love that. But he's not a bottom or a top signal. He's just always buying. I feel confident he's buying. That's good that he's still buying instead of going out of business. But the Binance news is a little more interesting to me. And the reason why is because if you have not been involved in crypto for that long, the history of Binance is at certain moments, it feels like Binance is the crypto hero. And at other moments, they are the crypto villains. Why? Because they are constantly and aggressively manipulating price at all times. So what I've learned from Binance is to watch what they do, especially if they don't talk about it, but trade almost usually the opposite of what they announce. In fact, the announcement they were going to make this purchase happened when Bitcoin was still above $80,000. And I told people at the time when Binance announced they're about to invest $1 billion back into Bitcoin, I said, don't be surprised if this is another reason why Bitcoin price ends up crashing. Why? Because anytime a large entity like Binance with a track record of manipulating price tells you what they're going to do, they don't make an announcement, hey guys, we just did XYZ. When they say, hey, we're gonna do blah, 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 and it has a perceived bullish tone, there's always something a little bit deeper that you need to be aware of. And sure enough, Binance fell to the downside. Now, I don't have any evidence of this. There's allegations out there. So let's use the word alleged. But there's a lot of arguments to say, remember the 10/10, the October 10th crash? That was the biggest crash in crypto history that wiped out retail like never before. Heavy suspicion and allegations that Binance was involved in that. And Binance is definitely one of the figures that easily could be continuing to manipulate Bitcoin's price once again. And like I said, Binance announces they're going to buy $1 billion of Bitcoin. I tell you, hey, the price is probably going to fall. Price does fall. Don't necessarily make your trading investments decisions based on announcement from Binance. And in fact, you might be better off doing the opposite of what they claim to be doing. Now, this is good news. I do love that Binance is buying Bitcoin, right? I always love anyone who buys Bitcoin. But what we don't know is what is Binance doing out the back door? Are they selling twice as much of it? With all this whole thing, a lot of people are going to try to use this story here today to tell you that the bottom is in for Bitcoin and Ethereum and others. I'm here to tell you, don't be so fast to make that conclusion, okay? So my big takeaway, whales are buying. So what? So what? Let me know when we actually start breaking some true resistance. Let me know when real volume and not just manipulation volume actually starts to enter into the game, and we're going to feel a lot more bullish at that point. And again, I think that's coming, but I just don't know if it's today. Some other good news that we want to be making you aware of, and this is the other big story. I told you guys, Clarity Act is going to be the catalyst that I'm looking for to resume true bull market types of movements. We got an update from Eleanor Tourette in a nutshell. Tweeted this out on X. If you're not following me on X, you should be. The next White House crypto bill meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 10th. Will progress be made? We'll have to wait and see. By the way, that's tomorrow, in case you're wondering what day is February 10th. Today is the 9th. That will be tomorrow. To the best of my understanding, I do not believe that this will have CEOs there. Just like last week, Brian Armstrong will not be there from Coinbase. Jamie Dimon will not be there from JP Morgan. This will be glorified lawyers getting in a room again to continue the conversation of what the language really looks like going into this bill. And again, a lot of updates are still saying there's optimism. There are a lot of people that are optimistic. I'll be honest with you. On X, I follow very conservative accounts that probably side with the right. They're probably Republican based. I follow accounts that are more liberal. They probably side with the Democrat base. I'll tell you right now, one of the reasons why I'm pretty bullish on this bill passing in April, because it seems to be the consensus that a lot of people are talking about, is if you do nothing but follow right-wing conservative news, and they're so positive, you could just say, well, they want to be positive right now because this bill is perceived as a conservative bill. I love the fact that it's really a bipartisan bill, but conservatives are going to be really upbeat about it. They're going to be really optimistic, but maybe sometimes to a fault. Okay. So if your Republican accounts, your right-wing accounts are being happy about something, that's cool, but maybe there's something under the surface you're not seeing. What makes me optimistic is there are some left-wing accounts that I follow that are pretty much echoing the same thing, only in a almost a sad situation. Like there was one account I was following that was quoting a Democrat senator and saying, in other words, what they're saying is they're going to cave and give Trump exactly what he wants and they're going to pass his Clarity Act bill. All right. At the end of the day, why am I sharing this with you? I don't care about politics right now. There's a lot of stuff happening right now that makes me just disdain politics as a whole. But as a person who talks about money, I have to talk about politics. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you love Trump or hate Trump. I don't care. I love crypto and money. I want to see it passed. My point in sharing this with you is that both sides of the camp seem optimistic or pessimistic, whatever you want to call it, that we will see the Clarity Act passed in one form or another. And more than likely sometime between early April and early May, right? So this is something I think is going to be very important to keep watching. I think there's going to be several more of these meetings between the crypto execs and the banks to work out language before they actually put the real wordage in front of the senators. But I'm feeling very optimistic right now that it's going to happen here soon. While poly markets maybe not as optimistic as I am, they're still saying overall yes. Right now, Clarity Act signed into law in 2026, got up above 70%. It's now down at 57%. I'm not really 100% certain what happened right in here that caused some confusion, but it's still saying more than likely, a little above 50-50, we will see the Clarity Act pass. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Are you optimistic about the Clarity Act? Or do you think that this is just doomed to break our hearts and the bear market continues into the rest of the year and the 4-year cycle plays out, right? Let me know if you still think that's going to happen. I was going to do this a little out of order. Some good news for you guys on the news front of fear and greed. If you don't follow fear and greed, you should. It's a very important metric that is it's not a perfect buy and sell indicator, but I'll tell you right now, if you bought every day while we are in fear and sold every day while we're in greed, you will be a very profitable investor long-term. Bitcoin today's at 14, up from yesterday's 7, right? So last night at 7 p.m. it printed 14. Saturday night it printed 7. Friday night it printed a 6. I don't even think you guys can see that. Let me show you over here. Saturday night, you go over here to the February 7th, it came in at a 6. The last time that we saw a 6 on the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, let's go back and find that. I think you'd have to come back into here probably. And this is going to be somewhere back in June of 2022. Now, while June of 2022 was not the bottom, it was kind of stinking close to the bottom. And remember, I told you guys, I think we have one more wave down before we kind of get to the bottom. I think 53,000 still makes a lot of sense to me. Guess what happened? Guess what's happening in June of 2026? In June, 2022, excuse me. June of 2022, Bitcoin falls out, drops down below $20,000, has one more surge of hope to the upside before dropping down to what would become the bear market bottom and start the bull run. Okay? So the last time that Bitcoin had this much fear, we were, at this point, it would still be months, right? Because we didn't end up bottoming until November. But June to November, that's what? 4 or 5 months? Not the same timeline I'm saying here for April or May, but you get my point here. We are a matter of weeks or a few months away from a bottom if we see this repeat how 2022 laid out with the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. Okay? A lot I'm throwing at you. I'm throwing at you hopium, but hopium within an understanding that the bottom might not be in. And I know some of you would just love for me to get up here and say, bottom in, go buy now because the bottom's in and there's going to be nothing but a bull market from here on out. And I'd be probably lying to you. Maybe I wouldn't be. Maybe the bottom is in. But right now, I think there's more on the table suggesting the bottom is not in and that this is just another optimistic bounce. It's better for you to face that type of information and prepare yourself than to just live on hopium alone. I'm here for the hopium. I'm here to provide you hopium, but hopium within a framework of reality and truth is the best form of hopium. And right now, that's the best I can do for you. Now, let's talk about some other charts that are doing pretty well. I told you guys the other day I thought that gold was going to rebound a little better than silver, even though it kind of did have a pullback. I told you guys weeks ago, gold needed a 20% correction, right? Gold corrected, guess how far? 21%. And we bought some more gold on that 20% correction, started to go back up, put in a higher low. I told you on that higher low, I think gold can make another surge to the upside. Some of those reasons, we're getting daily buy signals. I knew the 4-hour buy signals were already in play, but we're seeing some very real optimism. I don't know why I'm struggling with that word. Some real optimism for gold charts right here in a way that while silver's bullish again, it's going back up. Silver did end up putting in that lower low. I even told you guys last week, buy gold, wait on silver. I'll tell you, silver today, it's not giving me the full-blown buy signals. The aggressive indicator is starting to give me a buy signals. Aggressive indicators can give you early entries, but also be failed a little more. I like to wait at least for my, conservative kryptonite channel to give me a buy signal before I fully commit. It's close. We're heading in the right direction. But we are seeing a buy signal today as silver is back up above $80 per ounce. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. I caution people being a little patient, but I'm not your financial advisor. You do what you want to do. If you want to try to jump the gun early and buy back in on silver now, you can. I still think there's a good chance we do see new highs for gold and silver. I told you guys silver needed to correct 40%, and originally we caught that one pretty good. It dropped 41%. It now has been down 47.5%. Went below even some support levels I said would be very interesting, but it's starting to surge once again. So silver, again, give me a day on it. Like, give me a day. Let me get some confirmation in here to feel better about it longer term. But silver giving me some very positive signs here on the metals front. Flipping the script into some stock talk. We've talked about Coinbase in the past. Even though Coinbase has dropped a whole lot farther than you would have liked it to, it kind of dropped back down to the same April lows. It bounced on those lows. And just like Bitcoin and others, we are starting to get some of those daily buy signals. In fact, Coinbase right now has the same daily buy signals that we had back here in November, that we had a decent bounce. Not a great bounce, but a decent bounce right here. So a rebound on coin, kind of being a similar type of chart to Bitcoin or Ethereum, probably on the table. Where would that look like? Again, I have a box right here that I thought was very, very interesting support. We lost it. I'd say look for a coin movement probably back up towards 200. After that is the bottom in. Well, I bet you if Bitcoin's bottom isn't in, it probably unlikely coins is. But if you're looking at shorter term trades, coin to 200 is looking like a move right there. I'm not going to wait for it, though. I would definitely take profit if I get sell signals before then. But for right now, I'm getting what I need to feel good about a move on coin to the upside. Speaking about another crypto stock that is performing poorly but giving us some signs of hope here, bullish. In fact, actually, I think there was announced that ARK Invest, led by Kathy Wood, sold some coin to go buy some bullish. It's actually having a phenomenal day. It's up 16%. It's got its own buy signal on all three of my indicators. Levels I'd be keeping an eye on for that one. You definitely can look here. We're not very far away from it. $34 is a level I watch. I don't know if this one necessarily, though, is in a full-blown. This one actually might have hit its fifth wave down. You guys can see here when I pull out Elliott wave theory. You start up here, boom, 1, 2, 3. You look at this. Look at how it rejects right at that former level. There's 4. There's my fifth wave. So this one, I'm not necessarily looking at bullish saying, oh, we have to reject at the bottom of wave 3 and come down again. This one, you can start to look for moves further to the upside. I keep an eye on this zone. A lot of support. Was support. We bounced on it. Now it's resistance. A lot of things happening around $39 here on bullish. But again, just showing you, like the other charts, we're getting those daily buy signals in here on bullish. So am I telling you we're riding this all to all-time high? Not necessarily, but I am saying that this is a sustained short-term bullish price chart that you could have got this yesterday. These signals actually came in yesterday when price was sitting down here at $27. You might be saying, Tim, what good is this information when I'm already at 31? Well, if you were in my VIP trading group, trading with us, having my indicator, and you love bullish, you would have seen at $27. This was a good buy. You'd be up more than 17% from yesterday's purchase with that announcement. Another one that we were trading here a little bit ago, made some moves. We bought this one back in here on $99, traded up here to $114. We got the rejection, lost the re-level. I told people, hey, if you were still in it, ditch on CoreWeave. We need to correct. It's getting himself some rebounds here. In fact, take a look at this one. This one played out almost perfectly based off of what it should have done. When you take a look at the height of the opening of this formation, look where it dropped to almost perfectly down to that projected breakout. So there was a little bit of a support level in here, but even better, what I love to see, daily buy signals coming in. To be fair, the Neurowave isn't giving me a buy signal yet. I want to be very fair and frank with that, TA. That doesn't have a daily buy signal, but we are seeing it on both kryptonites, both the aggressive and the conservative indicators right now. We will stay on watch. Like something I told people weeks ago. When we bought it at $99, I said, look for a bigger move up. A lot of times when you see these formations, that you see this red line that's descending right here, this is a descending level of resistance, and you match this with a descending level of support that's literally parallel. This is called a ascending channel. And while they are bearish trends while they're forming, the breakout of them, it's pretty big to the upside. In fact, take a look at the breakout prediction here. When we get a breakout, the projected breakout based off of this pattern really should be somewhere into the world of getting priced up to $236 at this point, right? We need to see a confirmed breakout before that happens. But I'll tell you this right now, as I've studied TA, a lot of times when we are about to break through resistance on a channel like this, you'll see a rejection on resistance and a halfway move down and then a return to the upside. I'm not promising you we're going to break the resistance. What I'm saying is this one has my attention right now. CoreWeave has billions of dollars of investment. It's made a move that I've seen happen plenty of times with a halfway move back to the upside. If we reject again, I'm not against entering a short back up here at this red line. But if you start to see heavy volume come in and we start to poke our heads above this red line, we very well might be on our way up there north of $200 to $230, $240 per share here on CoreWeave. So there we go. That is some charts that I wanted to address with you guys today. What time is it? 3:36. I've been doing it for 36 minutes. Got 500 people in here watching the live show. Guys, smash like and hit subscribe if you're enjoying the show here so far. I'll tell you right now, if you want to see more of my trades and you want to hear more of my coins, I tell you guys about my VIP trading group all the time. When you join my VIP trading group, you get the free indicator. You get to see all the stuff we're doing. But if you're saying, I'm not ready to commit and get the indicator yet, I want to see more of what Tim and his team do. One of the best ways you can do that, go sign with Toobit. It's the exchange that I use every day. You can start trading with it today. Use my link. You get fees lower than anybody else, VIP level 1 fees. And when you deposit $100 or more and send that information to the email in the description, you get free access to my live trading sessions. Not just mine, but my pro traders as well. You can see what my thoughts are about the markets, when I'm buying, when I'm selling, all things that you kind of need to see to kind of fully trust us here. So if you're waiting to join the VIP trading group, you said, I'm not committed to that just yet, but I like this Tim guy. I want to hear more information. Go check out Toobit and start trading with us today. Link in the description. Let's get a couple of questions here, and then we'll talk and we'll break down the show, break out of the show here. Cash if Watu said, bro, how much Bitcoin will go down? All of it will go down. But yeah, I think your question is how far it will go down. I said that earlier in the video. I think a very interesting spot to watch is going to be 53,000. If we can't break back above 80K and we lose the low back here of 60K, 53 is my next reason for that. If you want to go watch on my channel, I need a drink real quick. On my YouTube channel, let me show you guys. We're live, so we have a second here. Go to, I'm not gonna share my screen just yet, but go to it, type in Tim Warren, click on my name right there. You guys are watching it right now. And on my channel, you'll see, as you go over here, just take up space. The last video I shared back here, crypto crash over, updated Bitcoin price prediction. In this video, again, click on videos, is the most recent video. I break down 4 reasons why 53,000 is a very interesting spot to watch for Bitcoin. Okay. I can't promise you it's the bottom. There is a chance, and the key word here is chance. I don't know how likely it is. There's a chance that the bottom was in back here at 60K. But I think 53 makes more sense. Let me tell you another thing. I don't even think I told my VIP trading group this. Another suspicion I have. Let me know in chat. Put a 1 in chat if you are convinced as me that we're being heavily manipulated right now. Bitcoin price, crypto price is being heavily manipulated right now. Put a 1 in chat if you agree with that statement. In manipulation, oftentimes, if you study the thoughts of Wyckoff and the Wyckoff theory, there's the last movement, the actual bottom is a spring action. And I'm not going to go into the full teaching of it here on this live show. But spring actions, one of their characteristics is that when you finally hit the bottom, it's manipulated, right? So they're controlling the price. The bottom will actually have low volume. And this goes against everything you would be taught. Like even in my academy where I teach people technical analysis, one of the things I look at and I tell you is, hey, look for high volume to know when the selling is turning into buying, right? So if you look at this right here, this is a great indicator of a bottom back here the other day because the volume starts to increase. We got this candle back up. high volume. This was an indicator right here that was telling us all the selling that was in the market was shifting into buying. Okay. The sellers sped up and then the buyers picked up and it was this high volume. In worlds of manipulation, I'm going to show you some examples here. Oftentimes the bottom has low volume. It doesn't follow traditional TA. It doesn't follow the reversal pattern. It's because they've shook out every single retail investor. They've shook out every other player. And now it's literally just the manipulators playing. So they don't need a whole lot of volume for price to decrease or to start getting back up. The confirmation of this is after bottoming, the volume picks up right afterwards. So for example, take a look back here in the summer of 24. Again, a season where I thought there was a whole lot of manipulation. This constant up and down, up and down. The tops had volume, the bottoms had volume. We had this massive volume right here with Japan. Look at the actual bottom. I mean, I know the wick goes right here, but look at this actual bottom. The last shakeout move to downside, the lowest candle body close on the daily chart before resuming the bull run. Look at the volume at this time, almost non-existent. Nowhere near as impressive as this one or this one or this one, right? There's no volume, and yet that was the bottom of the shakeout that made a move back to the upside. Why? Because it was the spring volume. How do you confirm it was the spring volume? After breaking through resistance, right? We struggled. After breaking resistance, high volume comes in as confirmation. That's the whales bought right here with no competition. And then as soon as they started hitting resistance and other people started shorting, they had to pick up the volume and start buying more to blast it to new highs. So the volume picks up. Okay. Same thing happened. Let's go back. All of my 2021 traders, go back over here into the summer of 2021 during this heavy season of manipulation. High volume bottom. Look at the lowest daily candle closes. Look at the volume. Almost non-existent. When does the volume pick up? The volume picks up as the resistance is broken. Look at that. So what's my point here? My point overall is, if you believe that this is a highly manipulated market right now, but we just saw the highest amount of volume that we've seen this entire, definitely bear trend, but arguably, I guess there's some higher volume back here, but some of the most volume we've seen this entire run, the last 3 or 4 years, I'm not telling you there's a 0% chance. I want to be very clear. I'm saying if you believe in manipulation like I do, the odds of having a high volume bottom, not your friend, not in favor. I think it'd be very realistic, though, to again see some bouncing. Maybe we touch 80,000 and then we have this wipeout and we come down here and we touch 53 and we just kind of slowly start to trickle up here and volume just kind of stays low. It doesn't really do anything. And then all of a sudden the price action shoots back above resistance and the volume shoots above as well. And now we have a confirmed spring and breakout to the upside. Okay. Can't promise you for certain that's happening, but if you believe in manipulation, you look for moves like that. Okay. Which makes it really tricky, right? Because again, one of the ways you look for bottom positions is the high volumes. That's just going to make it so hard. Like as we're approaching 53,000 and there's no volume coming in, it could very easily drop below that. And by the time it starts bouncing and you're like, well, maybe there's no volume coming in. So maybe it's going to go even lower, but all of a sudden it starts going up. You don't know you're in a spring until the high volume breakout to the upside. That's what makes spring so frustrating, but it is the world of manipulation. So what I'm telling you right there is don't be surprised if we come in lower and we hit 53,000, where there is a lot of reasons for support and the volume is really low. That actually could be a very bullish sign, in my opinion. If we scoop 53 and then start to go back to the upside with low volume, that could be a good case for the manipulation in the bottom to be over, right? And then, right, we probably get some news, the Clarity Act bill passes, something big happens, and all of a sudden, price starts shooting the upside and the volume starts coming in. But at that time, the bottom's in and we're making a run. ETH to 2,400. Yeah, I think I said earlier in the video, ETH could get all the way back up to 2,600 and stay within its pattern of being bearish, right? Get above 2,600 and a different conversation, right? Get above 2,600 and there's a good argument to say, let's not say a better argument to say the bottom is in. It breaks the Elliott wave theory, but it's again, I don't know how high likely of a possibility that is to get that high. Shannon says, I think the next pullback is going to correlate with the pullback in the S&P 500. Very good point. I think with job loss, folks will rotate to real estate and dividend-based stocks, preparation for the AI labor swing. It's very possible you could be onto something there, Shannon. I don't know about rotating into real estate. I think some very elite wealth could rotate into real estate. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think there's an ability for what's going on with the laws right now for real estate to stay in a little bit of a slump for a little longer. Okay. Answer to your survey, you're a Bills fan, 716. Don't know what that means. I don't know if you're trying to tell me that means you like me or if you're saying you're a troll. Who do you root for, right? And here's what I'll say, guys. Last night was the Super Bowl. Pathetic Super Bowl. Would have been 10 times better if the Bills had played there. Yes, Josh Allen couldn't get it done against Bo Nix. Josh Allen was both the reason they almost won that game and the reason they lost that game. But you can't convince me. Like I'm not even opening this up for debate. You can't convince me I'm wrong on this. The Bills would have been a better Super Bowl contender against Seattle than New England. New England wasn't ready. Too young. Roger Howell says, Weeble, great analysis. Love the show. And thank you so much. I don't use Weeble. Again, we're looking more into that as we want to trade more options. We do have a pro trader named Max in our group. I don't know if he uses Weeble or not. I'd have to ask him. I actually didn't ask him what exchange he uses. When I trade, I'm just doing like Robinhood. And then occasionally on Toobit, there's some stocks I can trade on Toobit. But I've never used Weeble. Broncos with Bo Nix would have won the Super Bowl. The Broncos with Bo Nix barely beat a very bad, like the worst game Josh Allen has played in years. Right? Josh Allen was like Superman at certain moments and like just did the dumbest things other moments. It was his worst game. He's way better than that, and they still almost beat. They almost beat him. The refs plus Josh Allen's bad moments is what caused the Bills to not be in the Super Bowl this year. If Josh Allen had just played a normal game and the refs weren't the refs, the Bills might be Super Bowl champions right now. That's what I'm going to say about it. Seattle's very good, though. I don't know. Seattle's pretty good. It would have been an interesting game, though. Patriots had no business in that game. Amen, Rufio. That's all I'm going to say. Bullish. We looked at Bullish. Delete. We looked at this later. He's one of our members. Delete dollar shirt. We looked at Bullish a little bit before. Again, in the tank, but very different than other charts. Like in the rest of the crypto space, I still think that we just finished the wave 3. It very much looks like Bullish just completed wave 5. So you could see Bullish actually start to take off before the rest of them. Oh, I didn't share my chart right there. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's what I was showing right there. I'm bullish. It looks like it just completed the 5 wave. Rufio, you're in chat. Let me know. You're our resident Elliott wave theory expert. Does that look legit to you? Does Bullish look like it just finished that wave? Do you think the new Fed chair is pro Bitcoin? I mean, I think he is pro Bitcoin. And I think he's pro rate cuts. The question is if he's pro quantitative easing. And I think early signs are saying he's not. So what does that mean? Can you inject liquidity and do what we need for Bitcoin to have to be bullish again without full-blown going to quantitative easing? Ask the question. Oh, delete dollar. You're saying that's the Weeble question. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so and here's another thing, conspiracy theory out there. Very few of Trump's first nominees get accepted. I've already heard some senators from the Democratic Party saying they're not going to approve Warsh. Was he a lamb? Is Warsh out there with no serious contention to actually be the Fed chairman? But Trump thinks that if they reject his first guy, he'll have more room for his second guy. That's a conspiracy theory out there that Trump doesn't even plan on Warsh being the Fed chairman. We'll have to see. But I think he's pro Bitcoin. It's going to be very interesting what his policy looks like with bringing liquidity that crypto needs. Do you live in Buffalo or are you just a Bills fan? I don't live in Buffalo. I live in Florida. I mostly became a Bill fan this year, officially. I've loved the Bills since Tyrod Taylor was there. Big Virginia Tech fan. Anyone who watches this channel knows I love Virginia Tech. When Tyrod Taylor went there to start for the Bills and took them to their first playoff and who knows how long, made me start liking the Bills. This year, I didn't really have an NFL team, so I'm new here. I'm a baby Bill, but I said I'm going to commit to one this year. I'm going to commit, and I took a poll on X, and actually the community voted and told me to choose the Bills, and I'm going to commit to them. And I love Josh Allen, and I love the Bills from now on. I love them like my children, even though I'm just a year old in it. So you can call me a bandwagon, but I'm gonna be here in 10 years when they suck too. So I'm 40. It didn't change teams. I didn't have one. Like I care about college football more than professionals, but I was like, you know what? My team sucks so bad. The Hokies suck so bad. I just need something in my life to actually look forward to on the weekend, right? So went with the Bills. And I love, how do you not, you might not be a Bills fan. How do you not love Josh Allen? If you don't love Josh Allen, something's wrong with you. Okay. He maybe isn't a Tim Tebow type-esque person, but he's up there. He's a funny guy. Your family's Bills Mafia, so okay, cool. Well, then we're family now, Ryan. We're family. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go and wrap up today's show. It's been a lot of fun. If you want to trade with me, go check out Toobit. Go check out the stop. Don't use my account with that Smay and start posting blasphemy like Go Steelers. Don't fall for that, people. I don't comment in there while I'm live to you, so don't fall for that kind of stuff. Thank you for being here, guys. This is a little bit chaotic here at the end. Smash the like on your way out. Hit subscribe. If you want to trade with me, go check out Toobit. Check out the VIP trading group. We're making money every single day right now. Come find a way with us in that VIP trader group. I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.